It was just the right opportunity. The incompetent like you are fired.
I didn't understand what was said at first. My boss, who always calls me incompetent. One day, I defended a cleaning lady who my boss was treating like a thief. She wouldn't do that. Do you have any proof?
What? You believe some dirty janitor over your own company's people?
No, that's not what I mean. Then, with a smirk, my boss leaned in and said something unbelievable.
Defending this thief means you're complicit. I always thought you were useless. But I didn't realize you were this stupid. You are beyond help. This is a good opportunity. I'll report this to the higher-ups. You're fired. Don't come to the office from tomorrow.
What? Fired over this? That's ridiculous. I glared at my boss, but he just walked away briskly. Fine, I'll quit this place just like you want. And on the day I left the company, a major disaster struck. My name is Kevin Smith, a completely ordinary 33-year-old office worker. I work as an engineer at a company that develops systems for computers and smartphones. I've always been shy and disliked being the center of attention. When I become conscious of people watching me, I get so nervous, like even I can speak. However, I'm good at working silently on the computer. In school, I even develop simple apps as a hobby. At my current job, an executive from our parent company was involved in my hiring. He said warmly, "I value your skills. It's okay if you're not comfortable in the limelight. Just pour your passion into development." But I soon learned that the parent company's philosophy hadn't permeated all the employees of the subsidiary.
Kevin, compile the data from the email we got this morning and send it back to them before noon.
My boss, Johnson, gave me an order loudly. A client had requested current performance and progress data, but the request was made to Johnson, and the deadline was set for the end of the week. By this morning, but the email said the deadline was the end of the week.
You're really stupid, aren't you? Who takes a whole week when they say, by the end of the week? Responding promptly is just good manners.
I had never been taught such manners. Besides, I didn't have time for extra job either. But I'm in the middle of something urgent.
So what? Just finish both by noon.
That's impossible. Would you set a deadline until the afternoon at least?
You talk back despite being incompetent. You're useless in presentations and negotiations, so shouldn't you try to make up for it in other areas? Really? People with no ambition are always like this.
I think he should just handle it himself if he said like that. But while I'm thinking, he sends an email saying, "Kevin will reply by this morning without my consent." If he has the time, he should do it himself. Despite my farts, I rush to stop my current work and start on what Johnson was supposed to do. I managed to finish by noon and sent it. But then Johnson yelled, "That's too late. What's the point of sending it at the last minute?" No matter what I say, I just get scolded. So I can only reply half-heartedly. I had to do my afternoon tasks during lunch break, staying glued to my computer while everyone else left their desks. In the afternoon, I received a return email from the client. They thank me for the quick response and praise how the compiled data is much clearer and usable as is. Feeling rewarded for my hard work, I'm about to reply, but Johnson beats me to it, taking credit like, "It's just a layout change of the data I've been compiling. No need for thanks. I'm too exhausted to protest. I let out a quiet sigh and got back to work.
Kevin, about tomorrow's meeting materials.
In the evening, I tensed up as my colleague, Mike, approached me. Was there something wrong? But his demeanor wasn't troubled or angry.
They're really easy to read. Including this data usually makes the document too rigid. But when you compile it, Kevin, it's so concise. How do you do it?
It took me a moment to realize I was being complimented. Well, it's nothing big, but I recalled how I created the document and shared some tips. Mike seemed satisfied and thanked me, then whispered something.
Earlier, Johnson emailed your data as if it was his own.
Yay, I know.
Actually, I was on the phone with a client about something else, so I told them you made it from scratch.
What?
They said thank you for the great help.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I just told the truth.
My efforts being recognized made me feel a bit lighter. But of course, some people's attitudes towards me didn't change.
Kevin, you never contribute in meetings anyway. It's a waste of time. So go to the archive and find this.
Johnson handed me a list of past products. He wanted files detailing their development history. Sure, I'm not great at speaking in meetings, but listening and understanding the direction is important. Also, I doubt Johnson would listen to my opinion. I obediently headed to the archive. I found the file and loaded it onto a cart. I was about to return to my seat, but the disorganized and upside-down files caught my attention. Since the meeting would take a while, I started organizing them, and then someone came in.
Oh, hello.
Hello. She's been the dedicated janitor of our company since last month. She seems to be around my age, but it's hard to tell. Her long hair is carelessly tied at the back of her head, and she wears thick glasses that suggest she's severely nearsighted. Additionally, her long pants and apron, part of her work attire, are noticeably stained. I was surprised by her sudden appearance. Since she's under confidentiality agreements, she probably has access to the archive. Oh, are you working? I'm sorry, I'll get out of your way.
No worries. Oh, were these files always this neat?
I had just finished organizing them. Sorry, I just tidied up on my own. Perhaps it was her job. If she had her own plan for it. I thought so, and I felt bad. But her eyes sparkled behind her glasses.
Incredible. It was a mess when I checked earlier. But now it's so clean. Kevin, you're not just good at your job, but also meticulous at cleaning.
You know my name.
Of course. I've heard about your detailed work.
It's not that great. Everyone just flatters me. After all, I'm called incompetent.
Who says such a thing?
I opened up about Johnson's behavior and my own character traits that led to it. I don't know why I get so nervous, but when I'm in front of a crowd, I just freeze. Despite being here for so long, I still don't feel like I fit in. It's embarrassing to have such worries.
That's not true. I feel the same way.
Really?
Yes, but right now, it's about you. Sorry. But based on this morning's conversation, there are people who appreciate you.
I hope so, but I sometimes think it's just a polite remark.
But it doesn't lead people to seek advice or bring you up in conversations with clients. At least I wouldn't.
Really?
Yes. The fact that your reputation reached me is proof enough.
Hearing that made me think it might be true. Getting carried away isn't good, but maybe it's okay to have a little confidence. From that day on, I started talking to Harper more often. Whenever our break times coincided or at the end of overtime, she was always there to lift my spirits, especially when I was feeling down. One day, I became curious about her thick glasses. Having good eyesight myself, I've never worn glasses. I remember hearing that for nearsighted people, the worse the vision, the thicker the lenses. Harper, do you have really bad eyesight?
What? Oh, these glasses?
She removed her glasses, revealing a face partially hidden by her bangs.
Yes, it's pretty bad. Do you want to try them on?
Yes, I replied, holding the glasses in front of me. Whoa. Suddenly, my vision blurred, and I felt dizzy, like the world was spinning.
Sorry, that was too strong for you, wasn't it?
Yes, I couldn't see anything at all.
Couldn't see anything.
Harper repeated my words, then, as if struck by an idea, suggested something good.
If you wear glasses, you won't be bothered by people's stares, right? Because you can't see them.
Indeed, that's true.
These glasses are too strong and might strain your eyes, but I have an older pair that might work for you.
The next day, she handed me glasses she used during her student days. They had brown frames with thinner lenses. When I put them on, my vision was a bit blurry, but not enough to make me dizzy.
Don't wear them all the time, or you might harm your eyes. Use them as an amulet for when you really need them.
I never thought just blocking my view would work, but Harper was seriously thinking about helping me. It was worth a try. At the next meeting, I had to explain the system I was responsible for. I usually get so nervous, stuttering and losing words, feeling the painful stares of others. It always ends with me saying, "I'll email the details and documentation later," followed by Johnson mocking me for increasing your own workload. "You're so incompetent." I felt that today's presentation would probably unfold like always, sensing the atmosphere of everyone around. I put on Harper's glasses. When I looked up, I couldn't see anything. I could sense people around, but not clearly enough to tell who was where. If I couldn't see them, it was as if they weren't there. It was just like practicing a presentation alone. The prototype we developed according to the requested concept is: I could speak. My words didn't get stuck. I was as relaxed as if I were alone, not tense at all. The only downside was not being able to see my own documents. However, I knew my materials and system well enough to explain without needing to look at notes. Plus, I couldn't see people's reactions. But right now, I was so moved by being able to explain without hesitation. I honestly didn't care about the reactions. All I wanted was to convey my work and farts. I spoke earnestly, delivering my words to someone invisible. When I finished explaining, I didn't expect to be met with applause.
Kevin, what happened, man? You nailed that presentation.
You didn't stutter, and more importantly, it was so clear.
Of course, it's Kevin's work. His documentation is always precise. It's unbeatable when he explains it himself.
My colleagues were full of praise. I felt the effect of the glasses. Just not being able to see changed my perspective so much. I was surprised, yet filled with a sense of accomplishment, and I thought about thanking Harper later. I eagerly looked for Harper and found her cleaning the floor by the supply shelves. Harper.
Kevin, what's the matter? Why are you in such a hurry?
You were right. Just not knowing I'm being watched made it go so well. Thank you so much.
I just gave advice. The real credit goes to your own abilities, Kevin.
If you hadn't noticed, I wouldn't have changed. Please let me thank you properly.
It's not that big of a deal. But since you insist, maybe I'll take you up on that offer.
While I was organizing the supplies I'd been tasked with, Harper was cleaning around the supply shelves. Normally, I would be sighing through the work, but talking with her made the time fly by. I didn't notice, but at this time, someone was watching us from afar. The next day, when I arrived at the office, I headed towards the center of a crowd that had formed. It was noisy and had an odd atmosphere. What could have happened? Maybe a cat wandered in. Thinking lightheartedly, I was shocked when I saw the center of the commotion.
Confess already. We have proof.
It wasn't me.
There was Harper being confronted by Johnson. Harper.
Oh, Kevin.
Her usual friendly smile was gone, replaced by a look of fear in this situation. What in the world?
She's an industrial spy. She's been stealing company information and passing it to competitors. We found evidence of her dealings in her locker.
Johnson showed me documents with confidential data. These were in Harper's locker. It must be a mistake or a setup. She's not that kind of person. If Harper was a spy, she wouldn't have had time to be concerned with me. Besides, I couldn't believe someone who had been so supportive could do such a thing.
So the incompetent defends the janitor. A beautiful display of the weak helping each other.
Johnson looked at me with narrow eyes.
Come to think of it, you two have been quite close lately, haven't you?
That's because she was helping me with something.
Helping with illegal dealings?
What are you talking about?
I see. You're an industrial spy too, directing her to leak information.
His absurd accusation left me speechless.
The fact is, this janitor had our internal documents hidden. If you defend her, you're complicit.
That's ridiculous. Please investigate properly.
What investigation? The evidence is right here.
Evidence? Isn't that too presumptuous?
What? Are you doubting me? You're choosing to believe some dirty janitor over your own company's people. That's strange, isn't it? You must be her ally, aren't you?
No matter what I said, he was intent on framing Harper. Regardless of what's said, she's innocent. I believe in her.
Oh, really? If you're that adamant, you're complicit too. Even someone as incompetent as you can understand that, right?
Johnson sneered as he moved closer to me.
Kevin, it's okay. If I quit, that would be enough.
Harper looked at me with frightened eyes. Is this okay? No, this is wrong. I won't change my mind. Then Johnson said triumphantly,
I'll report this to the higher-ups. Kevin, you're fired. Anyone who defends a spy like this is an enemy of the company. I took care of you, and this is how you repay me. You were incompetent till the end.
I wanted to say I never felt taken care of by him, but it didn't matter anymore. Being fired didn't shock me. I nodded and began to clear my desk.
Kevin, are you okay with this?
Harper was puzzled by my reaction. I nodded without hesitation.
I'm sorry. Because of me, you're involved too, Kevin.
On the contrary, I'm thankful for this opportunity. I was already feeling at my limit working under Johnson. It's quite a relief now.
But I'm not an industrial spy.
It's okay. I know you didn't do it. Even if they investigate, if they don't find your fingerprints on the evidence, it won't stand up as solid proof. She smiled with a face that looked like she might cry.
Worrying about me? You're too kind. Huh?
Harper whispered to me.
About the thank you mentioned yesterday. Can I ask for it now?
What? She looked up at me, smiling. As long as there was no conclusive evidence of us being industrial spies, I had the right to use my accrued vacation days. So, I took my leave. Then one day, I received a call from the office. When I checked the number, it was from the company. There was nothing more to talk about. If any procedures were necessary, they could wait until my final day of leave, so I decided to ignore it. A few days later, I went to the office for the resignation process and found it more hectic than ever. What happened? I asked one of the employees, even though it was no longer my concern. He looked confused.
A lot of things. Do you know where the documents you worked on are stored?
My documents, Johnson said they were all disposed, calling them unreliable spy material.
I see.
Are you okay? I noticed faint dark circles under his eyes. Looking around, other employees seemed the same.
Kevin.
Glad you're here.
Employees gathered around me as they noticed my presence. I was confused, but someone explained the situation. I used to handle a lot of document creation because I couldn't present or attend meetings. From systems I developed to team projects. After I left, other employees had to take over, but their documents were unclear, lacking foundation, and the selling points were not apparent. They kept getting scolded, and in just a few weeks, lost credibility, leading to numerous contract terminations. The loss was rumored to be around $10 billion. That's ridiculous. Even if my documents were good, everyone else was a professional, some with longer tenure than me. I couldn't believe they'd created such pool documents. When I voiced my doubt, everyone hesitated to speak. Then someone murmured,
All the substitute documents. Johnson made them.
"What?" Johnson announced my termination, but no real evidence against us had emerged. Naturally, Harper and I were innocent. He was reprimanded by the executives and instructed to handle all my tasks until our guilt was proven. He'd always pushed document creation to me and left presentations to other employees, just giving orders and observing. Not being deeply involved in development, he ended up creating unfounded documents, leading to the current situation. The employees were struggling to retain contracts and handle the aftermath.
Kevin,
Johnson's yelling voice, which I hadn't heard in days, made the employees around me step back. Johnson, with dark circles like the others, approached me aggressively.
why didn't you answer despite the numerous calls?
Well, I was fired, so I figured the company didn't need me anymore, right?
Of course we need you. All the documents you worked on, remake them.
What is he even talking about? I was speechless at such a selfish demand. Didn't you dispose of them? Right?
So what? Just recreate the same documents again.
You think I, the incompetent, can handle this? I emphasized the word incompetent while speaking. More and more people started gathering around. I was sweating with all the attention on me. Feeling the pressure even though it wasn't a presentation, I thought about ignoring him and just saying goodbye to HR before leaving. Just then, someone pushed Johnson's shoulder aside and stepped forward. It was the CEO.
Kevin, I'm asking you too.
CEO.
It seems he can't work like you. And now, the suspicion of your illicit dealings seems dubious. Could you please come back? I know it's presumptuous to ask, but our company needs you.
This company said something similar at my initial interview, but it was all lies. Unfortunately, I've already decided on another job. I'm just here to complete my resignation process.
Even after we've begged you this much, how can you be so indifferent?
Johnson got defensive, ignoring his own actions. That's when a firm voice echoed through the office.
Oh, after pushing the blame on him and forcing him to resign, how can you say that? I'll return those words right back to you.
Everyone turned towards the source of the voice. A beautiful woman with long, glossy hair and an elegant face was standing there. Dressed in a gray suit, exuding confidence.
Who are you? Outsiders are not allowed here.
Johnson snapped at her, but the CEO hurriedly made him apologize.
Johnson, how could you? She's Jessica, the vice president.
Jessica, vice president.
The office buzzed with confusion. Half the people knew her, half didn't.
It's true. She's the next president of Flower Field Systems. Can't believe you don't know that.
Flower Field Systems is the name of our parent company. Johnson, having called her an outsider. But he didn't apologize.
What does Jessica, the vice president, want?
Kevin is going to work for us. His support skills and technical strength are remarkable.
Yes, my new job is with the parent company. The CEO and Johnson were wide-eyed.
So, a useless guy like him is useful. Someone who can't present in front of people.
Well, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, you know? Plus, I value his technical skills. Even if he's not comfortable on the big stage, as long as he's passionate about development, that's fine with me.
These words were spoken to me during my job interview. She was one of the interviewers. It was a one-time meeting, so I didn't remember her face or name, but she remembered me.
That's not all. He's accused of being a corporate spy.
The incident you tried to pin on me.
At that moment, Jessica puts on her glasses and tied her hair back. Johnson, seeing her, trembled.
You are.
Still good at belittling people. I see.
Jessica looked just like Harper. Indeed, Harper's true identity was the vice president of the parent company. Her real name is Jessica. She had used the pseudonym Harper for a reason. From her student days, she was top of her class and seamlessly transitioned into a business leader role. As she became the vice president and a future president candidate at Flower Field Systems, she only focused on how to grow the company. Often, her own opinions, which were based on extensive experience, overshadowed listening to her employees. She didn't trust her staff and often interfered with everything, occasionally yelling when things didn't go her way. This behavior led her to become isolated. When she finally realized her situation, no one would listen to her or follow her directions. She wasn't sure what to believe anymore. Her father, the current CEO, advised her to broaden her perspective. So, she chose to work in a different world, taking a job as a janitor at a subsidiary. It was a way to see the company and its employees from a different angle. Working in a subsidiary made it easier to keep her identity hidden under a pseudonym. Using a pseudonym to prevent her true identity from being exposed, she observed a lot in her new role. She saw people who were arrogant like she used to be. Those who couldn't voice their opinions. Those who strived in the circumstances given to them. Those who try to pull others down. And those who were trying to change themselves. Through observing various people and environments, she gradually understood how arrogant she was.
Like Kevin, someone who works hard to change the status quo without arrogance is exactly what I lack now. He's capable too. I need him.
How can we let go of such a person? Kevin, you belong here. What will you become at the parent company? Just a disposable rag.
Johnson said that to me. A disposable rag, huh? Weren't you the one exploiting me? Then, Jessica said with a laugh,
Letting go? Is that really what you should be worrying about now?
What do you mean?
Well, you're going to be fired.
Fired?
It struck me as odd. Why would such elaborate fraudulent transaction documents exist just to frame a janitor and one employee?
She approached Johnson with a click of her heels.
So, we investigated. Evidence against Kevin never came up, right? Because you're the culprit.
What evidence?
There's plenty of evidence. We exposed your contacts for the side deals. The email records are crystal clear.
That's a setup.
Probably thought to frame someone else before getting caught. Recently, since Kevin's been gaining positive reviews, you targeted him, didn't you? You couldn't stand to see someone you looked down on achieving success?
Then she turned a chilly gaze towards the CEO.
You're implicated too. I always thought it was odd. The company's direction is completely different from what we instructed. Seems like you were lining your own pockets at the company's expense.
The CEO paled and patted Johnson's shoulder.
This must be a trap to frame us.
Yeah, of course. We wouldn't do such things. Kevin, tell them. We're respectable superiors. There's no wrongdoing. And the evidence's credibility is doubtful, right? She respects you. So if you speak up, our suspicion will be cleared.
I was quietly threatened. You know what happens if you say something disadvantageous. Everyone was watching me. Such a crucial moment, and all eyes were on my response. I felt dizzy. My breath is tight. That's right. I have an amulet for times like these. I thought, reaching for the glasses hidden in my bag. If I wore them, I wouldn't be able to recognize anyone.
What's wrong, Kevin?
Kevin, hey.
I tightly grasped the glasses. This couldn't be the same as before. For those who believed in me, I faced everyone with determination. Yes, there is evidence. I released the glasses and pulled out my smartphone. Emails showing the CEO and Johnson conspiring. Inflated invoices. And graphs of profits and revenues that didn't add up. These were from the documents I had worked on. I suspected something was off, but never imagined actual fraudulent transactions. I had recalled these past data and handed them to Jessica on the day I was notified